A good day, High Sires. This is High Society Aftercare and Consulting coming at you with another High Sci Flash. I just left the funeral home here in Zebulon, North Carolina, where I often go to catch up on paperwork, and I noticed the embalmer was in the back room preparing two bodies to be embalmed, and it made me think, as I viewed those two bodies, who were they, first of all? And then it made me think, who am I? And so it gave me an idea for a topic today. Who are you? And before you gloss over that question too quickly, let me say that someone said, death is the great equalizer. That no matter what titles we held while we lived, we're all reduced to the same when we are on our deathbed. So these titles will eventually be stripped from us. It made me think about the titles I've accumulated over the years, with the first one being my name. They named me Charlie High, so that became a title. And to compare it to, or make it simple to something you may be dealing with, let's say someone calls you on the telephone and they ask the question, who are you? We're more likely to give our name. I am such and such. But again, that's not really who we are. It is a title. It's a name that was given to us. Let's give you some other examples. Let's say that with living, I've accumulated even more titles. And the longer I live, the more titles we tend to accumulate. Relationships wise, I do gain titles. So as I age, when I was born, I was a son. I'm also a brother. Another title I accumulated was husband. So I think you get the point. So when we think of ourselves as far as titles and labels, we also may think of it in context of what you do for a living. So if someone asks, who are you? Well, you may say, I'm a barber, or I'm a cashier. Maybe I'm an attorney. I am a doctor. I'm a police officer. Or I'm a president of a company, or vice president, or I'm president even of the United States. These are all titles that will eventually be stripped from us as our bodies lay on an embalming table. So my point is, our identity should be bigger than a title, because titles will eventually all be lost. And I think it also, the fact that we identify so much with these titles can contribute to maybe even depression and suicide. And I've known of several people who lived and worked a illustrious career with many awards, retired and died shortly thereafter. Some were natural deaths, some were suicides, because I think that title that they had was no longer applicable, and it was who they identified themselves as. So once you lose your primary title, what's your purpose in life? My goal is to get us to attach to something that's bigger than something that can be taken away, because whoever has the power to take your title away also holds the power over you. So in order for us to be self-empowered and regain who we are, I think we need to go on that journey to say, who am I, regardless of who man says I am. So if you want to tie it to something spiritual or religious, then certainly feel free to do that. But I'm not the one that's telling you what to believe religiously or spiritually. I'm just saying that at some point, this body will return to dust. And if we believe we're bigger than that, why not attach to something that's bigger than what man can give us as far as a title? Now, I think this would also allow us to connect with one another easier, because if I don't identify you by something, a label or title you've been given, and you don't identify me as a label or title I've been given, then maybe we can relate to one another on a level that's larger than a earthly title or label. Again, because these will all be taken away from us. As a matter of fact, I'm here at the cemetery, as you can see, as a reminder to me that one day I will be defined by what's on my tombstone, unless I identify with something that's bigger than that right now. So I'm in a cemetery where many people have fulfilled the dreams of others, and that's what's on their epitaph. That's what's written on their tombstone, birth date, what they accomplished, following or maybe chasing someone else's dream, and then their date of death. I would rather have in between my date of birth and my date of death something worthy that I have pursued, and I can say that no one else defined who I was. I know I rambled a little bit, but I hope you get the point that we need to learn how to identify with something that's larger than a title or label, because these will eventually be taken from us. Give them up now. Learn how to look at them in a different context now, so that when you're on your deathbed, and if you have time to reflect, you're not losing your identity or saying that I wished I had done this or pursued this dream. Go ahead and do it now. Let's remove these labels, and you've just experienced another Hassa Flag.